The cameras flashed. The crowd sort of froze.
Yep.
September 30th, 2025. And bang, the news hits. One of Hollywood's most, well, seemingly solid marriages, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, over after 19 years. But the shock, it shifted really fast, became something else, fascination.
Yeah, it wasn't just that it ended. Celebrity marriages end all the time, right? It was the speed, the precision of what came next. I mean, we just heard Urban back in April 2024 getting emotional, talking about his love for her almost 2 decades in, and then boom, divorce papers. But before anyone could even really process that, there was this other huge announcement. Totally different vibe.
A really personal ending, Jess. Immediately became this massive professional beginning. Okay, welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we dig into the Hollywood drama, the music industry shakeups, the viral scandals, basically what's really going on behind the headlines.
And today, we're doing a deep dive into Nicole Kidman's moves right after filing for divorce, because they were incredibly fast and seriously strategic. Our sources are suggesting this wasn't a scramble away from heartbreak. No, this looks like the public peak of a strategy she's been building for, like, a decade, a strategy that's really cemented her as this industry powerhouse.
Okay, let's break that down, starting with the divorce itself. Because like you said, this wasn't messy, not publicly anyway. It felt more like what do the sources call it, a controlled demolition.
Exactly, controlled demolition. The public sees this sudden filing, right, September 30th. But behind the scenes, meticulously planned, the separation itself, that happened way earlier. Beginning of the summer, apparently. This was just making it official.
And the paperwork timing, that's pretty revealing too, isn't it? It wasn't like a sudden blow-up where they rushed to sign things. Urban signed his part August 29th. Kidman, this is September 6th, weeks before the actual filing.
Right. It shows they weren't reacting to chaos. They were deciding when to release the news of the split. Total control of the narrative right from the start.
But it goes deeper than just timing, you're saying. The why.
Yeah.
Sources point beyond the standard irreconcilable differences. They're talking about a struggle over career support.
Mm-hmm. And this is where it gets really interesting from a, business perspective almost.
Yeah, because we know, especially when the kids were younger, Sunny Rose and Faith Margaret, Kidman reportedly put her career, let's say, on a lower flame.
Right.
To support Urban's huge tours.
Yeah.
Like that High and Alive tour. That's running till August 2026.
Which happens a lot in these high-profile couples, sure, but the dynamic changed. Kidman's career wasn't just simmering anymore, it was exploding. Big roles, yeah, but also her production company, Blossom Films. And the feeling, according to sources, was that the support she needed back. Well, it was not reciprocated to the degree she had hoped.
So he was used to her being the support system for his tours.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And when her career demanded that same level of backing, logistical juggling, all that, it maybe wasn't quite there. The relationship possibly became a constraint on her ambition.
Okay, but then how do you square that with some reports saying she was this heartbroken fighter trying to save the marriage? That narrative feels different from the cold, hard legal prep.
Well, that's the thing with these high-stakes splits, isn't it? The emotional reality versus the practical planning. And the legal docs, they tell a very practical story. Key fact, Kidman and Urban owned almost no assets together.
Nothing together.
Yeah.
Seriously. With all those houses, Nashville, Sydney, London.
Nope. All held separately in trusts, limited liability companies, and other entities. That's the legal jargon.
Okay, translate that for us regular folks. What does that actually mean?
It means, it's like the ultimate prenup without calling it a prenup. It means probably from very early on, their advisors set things up so that even after 19 years, there was basically no shared marital property to fight over. It's like a financial parachute built years in advance. It just eliminates arguments about dividing assets, shows incredible foresight, financial autonomy was baked in.
Wow. So the heartbroken fighter narrative,
Yeah.
maybe it had coexisted with a very pragmatic, risk-managed exit plan. Even the custody part sounds surgically clean. Kidman's primary residential parent, 306 days. Urban gets 59. And the kicker, no child support exchange.
Zero financial entanglement going forward. They controlled the breakup totally. But okay, they managed the demolition. Now wait till you hear how she managed the reconstruction, the comeback.
And if you're finding these Hollywood strategic plays as fascinating as we do, make sure you hit subscribe. Because what comes next, the speed is just, well, it's jaw-dropping.
It's 6 days. That's it. 6.
6 days. From filing divorce papers on a Tuesday, September 30th, to Monday, October 6th. Here she is, Nicole Kidman, 58, announced as the new brand ambassador for Chanel at Paris Fashion Week. This wasn't hiding away. This was ascending. immediately.
And her first Instagram post after the split, not a word about the divorce. Nope. It was this incredibly curated, glamorous slideshow from the Chanel show. Pure elegance, total control, the message, crystal clear. She's not adrift. She's thriving.
And choosing Chanel, that wasn't random either, was it? She has history there.
Deep history. Back to 2003, the face of Chanel #5, that iconic Baz Luhrmann ad. So this wasn't just a deal. It was framed as a renewal of a historic alliance.
The symbolism is just perfect. Chanel means timeless elegance, female power, stability. It instantly shut down any potential tabloid narrative about her being, lost or heartbroken. She was front row, looking fabulous.
And the public ate it up. That viral comment captured it perfectly. First, she served the divorce paper, and then she served face. People loved the audacity, the efficiency. It felt like pure resilience.
But the real genius move that day maybe wasn't just the Chanel announcement itself.
No, absolutely not. It was who was sitting with her, front row. Her 2 teenage daughters, Sunday Rose, 17, and Faith Margaret, 14, making their big public debut.
That was huge. Body language experts jumped right on it, talking about the soft power signals, the team feel of the photos.
And think about what that achieved. First, boom. Instant image of a united, supportive family. Forget broken home stories. The narrative shifts to strength moving forward together.
Okay, yeah. Counteracts any speculation about custody drama or unhappy kids.
Exactly. And second, it subtly introduces the daughters. Not as kids caught in a divorce, but as these poised young women aligned with Chanel, presented almost as heirs to her legacy. Under this banner of ultimate luxury, it was masterful narrative control.
So the Chanel deal was the flashy PR win, the coronation you called it, but the real engine behind her power now.
Yeah.
That's Blossom Films, right? Her production company.
Yes. We have to talk about Blossom Films, because that's the foundation of this Titan status. She's not just waiting for roles anymore, she's creating them. She co-founded Blossom back in 2010 with Perseri. Now she's an executive producer on, almost everything she does.
And that EP credit isn't just vanity, it's serious control and serious money. We're talking reports of $1 million an episode for shows like Big Little Lies Season 2, 9 Perfect Strangers. And that's on top of her EP fees, back-end deals. Adds up to that estimated $250 million net worth.
Right. It gives her total vertical integration. She picks the stories, develops them, casts them. She controls the whole process, decides what gets made, who makes it.
And the output. It's not just 1 or 2 projects. You called it content tsunami.
It really is. Look at what's in the pipeline right now. Sequels, revivals people are desperate for. Big Little Lies Season 3 at HBO. Lioness Season 3 for Paramount plus Lack. Practical Magic 2 with Sandra Bullock for Warner Brothers.
Wow, and new stuff too.
Oh, yeah. Massive new projects. Margot's got money troubles with Elle Fanning for Apple TV, plus Scarpetta, that thriller series with Jamie Lee Curtis for Prime Video. Discretion for Paramount plus Garamond, which apparently started a huge bidding war.
Okay, but wait. Didn't she say earlier this year, like in March 2025, to The Hollywood Reporter, that she was planning to take the rest of the year off?
She did, and that's the tell, isn't it? This explosion of activity, this acceleration of huge projects. It suggests the plan to ramp up was already in motion. The divorce wasn't a cause, it was more like clearing the runway, removing that final constraint.
That makes sense. The timing contradiction supports the idea that the divorce was a strategic step, not an unexpected crisis. Her power now is about creative control, choosing complex roles that, frankly, push back against Hollywood ageism.
And using Blossom Films to champion other women, too. Remember that pledge she made back in 2017 to work with a female director at least once every 18 months? Blossom is how she makes that happen, consistently. It's advocacy built into her business model.
So when you put it all together, the meticulously planned divorce, the immediate Chanel power play, the introduction of her daughters, and this absolute beast of a production slate, it completely reframes the idea of a comeback.
Exactly. This wasn't a comeback from the divorce. The divorce seems like it was the final step towards this next phase, removing the last major limitation on an ambition she'd been building for years, through the finances, the production company, all of it.
So at 58, she's not having a renaissance. She's stepping into her power as a full-blown titan, an eponymous force, securing her legacy completely on her own terms. Untethered.
Untethered is the perfect word. It feels like she's now focused entirely on building her empire.
It really does feel like the power balance just shifted, maybe permanently, especially for female producers in Hollywood. This whole thing is kind of a masterclass in, strategic uncoupling for professional gain.
And you have to think about that phrase again, career support deficit.
Yeah.
What does it mean when, in these high-powered couples, one partner's massive success starts to feel constrained by the relationship? Does Kidman's very public, very successful pivot change the calculation for others?
It definitely lays out a potential roadmap, a very efficient, maybe even ruthless roadmap to independence.
It certainly does. A fascinating case study.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.